Taurus babies, what's happening? This is EJ from Taurota Tarot. Hope everybody's having a good weekend. Getting ready to do Taurus and Aries sitting in a tree, K-I-S-S-I-N-G. It's been a while since I've been here, but here we are. A reminder, I do my cards straight up. I don't do reversals. Thank you to everybody that has liked, shared, and subscribed. So Taurus, we're going to do, might as well start with tomorrow. I think tomorrow's the 23rd. We're going to roll this through December 22nd. So we're walking right up to Christmas with this reading. So y'all are trying to do something. I'm just kind of noticing what's on the board. Yeah, y'all trying to, what y'all doing? What y'all think you doing? Maybe that's a better question. What y'all doing? Let's see, the challenge, the 9 of Cups. So basically to bring this on home emotionally. And this has really got something to do with dreams coming true. Taurus and Aries. Like I said, I don't know what bag of tricks y'all got going on, but yeah. And without even knowing what the cards are, I'm just looking at the movement. I'm just looking at the movement and the changes taking place. All right, so let's get this cracked up here. The Hangman on top of the High Priestess. The back ass end of the King of Cups on top of the 6 of Wands. That's your front and back end of your overall energy. The 9 of Cups is pulling the Fool. And that's the back end of the Fool. So here's your thing, Taurus. I guess I may as well just say it to you as a collective, and Aries. Listen to your intuition. Listen to your intuition. You do that, you got dreams coming true. I don't know how to say that to you, but this may be, this fits, I think, just about all stages of coupleism, if you will, with Taurus and Aries. Living together, not living together, getting back together, thinking about getting back together. It covers just about every aspect. So here, I tell you, eat the fish, leave the bones. Grandmama used to say. Don't choke on what's not yours. That part right there. Some of this is going to resonate with some of you. Other parts, not so much. But take what's yours. So there's a change of perspective going on, my dear bullies. And with the Hangman sitting on top of the High Priestess, this is really about trusting that the change in your perspective is going to make the difference. And that's kind of what's sitting up on top of your overall energy. Just trusting that your change in perspective about your relationship with your Aries is going to get you where you're trying to go. Period. And so some of you, well, it's one of them things where, not going to resonate with everybody, but the actual meaning of this in the vice versa decks on this side is talking about a fall leading to the new. So some of you may have fallen out of some kind of situation. I don't feel anything permanent in this reading. By that I mean, I don't feel like if you are just walking away from a situation and going to Aries or vice versa, whatever they're walking away from, you might as well just consider it vapors in the mist, because it wasn't permanent and it wasn't supposed to be permanent. For those of you that might be trying to get stuck on stupid about some shit, let's just throw that disclaimer in there. It wasn't supposed to be permanent. So be good with whatever's in your past. I am a believer that the universe really don't give a damn about your clock, your watch, or your Rolex. And so if it may appear to some people that you are relationship hopping, if you're trusting your inner guidance, fuck them. That's where we at with that. And if I'm saying it, I know some of you are hearing something. Why you keep changing boyfriends? What's wrong with you? How come you can't settle down? Keep trusting your intuition. Because at the end of the day, you have to live with you and deal with you. All the people popping that bullshit, not so much. Anyway, with the King of Cups, the back end of the King of Cups, sitting on top of the Six of Wands, I'm just going to finish what I started saying. Some of you are actually coming out of situations that may have had a hint of infidelity. Once again, like I just said, whatever you're walking away from, or whatever you're being pushed away from, don't be mad that is sitting on top of the Six of Wands. Once again, that fall leading to new. This is the same thing here, having victory, but taking all this kind of shit to have victory. Now, for some of you, this past whatever little hoo-ha right here in the immediate past, there may have been some misunderstandings, but there was still infidelity involved. So I'm answering the question for somebody trying to figure that little part out. You may have had literally just misunderstandings, Mercury retrograde and some more shit, communication just off, but there was still infidelity. So if you're trying to hold someone accountable, don't just disregard it because there was a miscommunication. Don't work like that. If you're being unfaithful, you just fucking being unfaithful, period. Some of you may be hearing that, well, I thought you said. No, you ain't thought I said nothing. So if this is in your gut, so I know this is bothering some of you. Some of you with your Aries may have had a situation of some infidelity. And so with that said, you having a change of perspective, I don't know. It feels more like some of you are moving away from situations that have had infidelity. I don't get a sense that Aries has cheated on Taurus, but I don't think that relates to long-term relationships, anything past 10 years. That I'm not talking to you. I'm sorry. Yeah, doesn't feel like there's any cheating or that there has been any cheating from Aries. What there has been, though, I think is a feeling of being disconnected a bit. So some of you may be at a distance and may have had problems communicating in the recent past. Looking at the Three of Swords, and I know people like, it says infidelity at the end, you got the Three of Swords. A lot of times, that third party energy is not, people want to make it that way, but it's not solely related to sex, or even it's not solely related to being unfaithful. Let me put it like that. However that works, emotional, physical, whatever. That's not the sole meaning. A lot of times it's about the influence that a third party has on one or the other. And there may be some of this here causing a lack of affection, but that it is sitting on the Knight of Swords. It's really about your boundaries and how you're dealing with your boundaries. So coming up in this first week, there may be some discussion about boundaries and how things look versus how they actually are. Again, I don't feel any kind of unfaithful vibe coming from Aries, but there may, Taurus, you may be seeing some things maybe on Facebook, and it's the holidays. Let's kick that about. Over here in the United States, might as well say it's the holidays. Thursday's Thanksgiving. People from the past have a real strong urge around this time of year over here to just want to show up at your door. Yeah, I know we broke up. Yeah, I know I wasn't shit, but hey, happy Thanksgiving. What the fuck? And there's a lot of relationships get kicked off about this time of year. Old relationships getting renewed. They get kicked off about this time of year. Now, just from observation, it doesn't look like a lot of these reboots and kickstarts last long. But because of the energy that we're in right now, which has a lot of nostalgia in it, it is easy to get hooked up with an ex. So this is not just about cheating. This may be that you've been at a distance, or maybe you haven't been with your Aries, you haven't been communicating regularly. And there we go. Once again, talking about setting those boundaries up. and making sure that everybody is on the same page. For those of you that are trying to do the reboot, don't take this part lightly. Even if it's not a complete face-to-face discussion with your Aries, you yourself need to figure out what your boundaries are and what your emotional boundaries are, particularly if you're coming out of some shit from another somebody and they were being unfaithful. Fuck, I'm just saying. So this is a good time, especially if you're not actually living in the same house. This is a good time to take time for yourself. If you're trying to do a reboot or a restart or a do-over, whatever you want to call it, good time to sit down and look at the boundaries. See if things have changed from when you were last together. Because things do change. You know, kids grow up, arguments get resolved, people move on, whatever. So look at what's currently on the plate, and then think back to what was on the plate whenever you were together. For those of you that are doing this for the first time, you may be living apart. So I'm looking at this Knight of Swords on top of the King of Pentacles. You may have to just go slow. Some of you may just have to go slow with the decision making. The Hangman, and now we're looking at dude here and taking a broader view. You may need to give your self-time, Taurus, for your thinking to catch up to what you're actually trying to accomplish. I think for some of you, it feels like it's been a whirlwind of things the last 3 or 4 weeks, different relationships, endings, beginnings, starting new jobs, going to school, kids online versus going to school, and there's just been a flurry of activity going on, Taurus. And so you head might be on one track and your heart literally on another. So you may need to take a moment this week and step back, take a bigger view of what's going on, and then coming right back to the boundaries, looking at where you want to be and what things need to occur for you to get where you're trying to go. Which then brings us to the Judgment card. And of course, it's the ass back end of the Judgment card. But in this, you're really talking about, and you're feeling this, Taurus, whatever, those of you that are kind of redoing this, you want to have a fresh perspective on what's going on. And so trust the divine to throw in whatever guidance needs to be thrown in for you to kind of get a little more spiritual about your relationship with your Aries. That is sitting up on top of the 5 of Wands. This is about growth. This is a period of growth. And for a lot of you, this is the beginning of a new cycle, a new chapter. So think about it, and especially those of you doing a do-over, how can you make it different this time? And this is major energy, so something's going to have to be different. I think in the natural course of things, there are some things that are completely different, but has your thinking changed? You trying to reboot something on some old shit, or you trying to give it a fresh foundation? And in that, it is the Judgment card. That's all about decision making. So again, you're gonna need some time this week, Taurus, for those of you that are thinking about taking your relationship up past where it is, wherever it is, take the time this week to think about the framework of the relationship. Getting into the second week, the King of Wands sitting on top of the 10 of Pentacles. It's going to be about the honesty in your relationship with your Aries, the knowledge or the wisdom that both of you are bringing into the relationship, trying to have that happy, with the happy on top of some more happy. This is doable. To fuck with what I said. This is doable. Yeah, you got to go through this shit, but this is doable. You may be coming out of some hurtful, with the bad shit. Somebody may have literally turned their back on you. Or they did something so heinous, you wanted them to turn their back on you. And so you got this energy. And so you take this week to clear some of that energy. Because this is really what you're aiming for. Somebody that's knowledgeable. Somebody that's honest. Come on now. And somebody that can help you build the kind of whatever you're trying to build without a whole lot of whoosha job. I'm just saying. And that this is Wands. Come on, no mistakes here. That's Aries all day long. Just know they're coming to you. If this is a situation where there's going to split and y'all are trying to get back together, they're coming to you straight up, Taurus. There's no bullshit about what they're doing. For some of you, it feels like this has been a long time coming, and the two of you may have been through a lot, and now you're beginning to see you could have avoided or not wasted so much time dealing with a bunch of dumb shit. For some of you, this is work related. As it relates to your Aries, you had to go, they had to go, and now you're trying to come back together. And so maybe some things have changed, conversations that need to occur with the Seven of Cups on top of the Three of Swords. See, it's that influential, fucked up ass energy, as I like to call it. The Seven of Cups in this vice versa deck talks about the illusory nature of things, fucking illusions, wishful thinking, all that bullshit. They're going to be, how can I say this? They're going to be some upheavals because you are pursuing this relationship with Aries. Number one, it's not going to go as fast. It's not going on your timeline, Taurus. Sit down. Just don't even try it. It's not going to go on your timeline. I know you're ready to run through the China shop right now. It's not going to happen. Those of you that are getting married, as you get into the new year, if you're thinking about getting married sometime next year, there are going to be delays. There's going to be some disappointments, and this is all relating to the accoutrements related to said wedding: dresses, shoes, purses, invitations, food, catering, all of that. Anything related to your wedding. I know, like I said, it's not always about third-party cheating. Check contracts and details if this is you. And don't be caught up by what you think you thought you heard. Don't forget, if you're in America, we're shit everywhere. We're in the middle of a damn pandemic globally. So before you go and invite all 5,000 members of your family somewhere, you want to check to see what the guidelines and policies are wherever you may be going. For that random aunt and uncle that want to drive all the way from Tennessee to your house to see you get married and they ain't telling you you're coming, can't have that. Some of you may need to get into a virtual thing as far as getting married. Isn't that convenient? Looks like it's virtual. Anyway, you may need to figure some Zoom, Yahoo, Google, whoever, figure out something creative to do. As always, whatever you decide to do, please be safe. But there are going to be delays. If you're trying to get back together and you're at a distance, sit down, Taurus. It's coming, but it's slow coming. And it's not a bad thing because it will help you. Once again, for those of you that are coming out of the muck and the mud, this will help you clear some of that negative energy off of you. At the end of the second week, with the Knight of Cups on top of the Six of Cups, don't, just because some shit is not going at the rate of speed that you wanted to. See my two little lovebirds right there. Don't get stuck. Don't get stuck. Don't let your vision get limited. Think big in this, Taurus. Think big. Aries, if you cross watching you too, think big about your relationship. And if this is a reboot and y'all are doing this again, think about what's changed. And if those things that are no longer in your experience as a couple, if they're no longer there, now what can you do? Just saying. If you guys were in school when you were last together and now both of you graduated college, whatever, now what can you do with your money and your time? If when you were last together, one or both of you had small children, depending on how long ago it's been, they may be older, they might be grown. Which change? And if that's been the change, how does that change the dynamic in the relationship? That kind of shit right there. So for weeks 3 and 4, the 5 of Pentacles pulls the 6 of Pentacles. Judgment pulls the Queen of Wands. Knight of Cups pulls the Queen of Cups. 4 of Wands pulls the Strength card. Or no, I'm sorry, Temperance card. And my Hangman once again pulls the Ass End of the World card. And the King of Swords pulls the Star card. Like it, like it, like it, like it, like it. So up here in the third week with the 6 of Pentacles on top of the 5 of Pentacles. One or both of you are very eager to get this going. There's probably a lot of passion, a lot of sexy, romantic winking and talking on the video and the phone or whatever. Those of you that are in the same place but just not living together, there may be a lot of little extra side flirting and some other stuff. But Taurus, do not let self-sabotage, especially those of you that are recently coming out of some other shit. Don't self-sabotage. Don't fuck this up. I don't know how else to say that, but that's pretty much where we are. So really, it should be don't fuck this up, and then don't let your passion take you to the nether regions of the nether world, to the nether. I'm just saying. Keep things in balance. Temperance card is on here. So just tell her. Where is she? Ah, Temperance right there. And that this is sitting above Temperance. Probably not a mistake. I'm sure it's not. Bring some balance into with the passion so that you are not undercutting, undermining, overanalyzing, none of that shit. In this instance, Taurus, go with your gut and go with your intuition. Your head and your heart are going to be arguing for a minute. And the reasons why, I'm sure there's a gazillion of them. Don't get stuck. Make sure you got some balance. Don't do the self-sabotage thing. You got the King and the Queen on the board. So this is a destiny. This feels like a lot of destiny and a lot of Wheel of Fortune type shit. You got the back end of the Queen, and now we're talking about the experience, and with the World card sitting underneath it in the next row, it's going to be the experience of Aries, to bring all of this together. And in that, once again, talking about the Judgment card, now we're moving into transformation. This is where decisions are made. So as you get a little closer to Christmas, the two of you may be making final arrangements or at the end of the negotiations. Oh, I can't talk today. At the end of the negotiations and getting ready to kick this off, look and see if there are any temporary limitations. Be thoughtful, both of you, to each other, and realize there's things that you're coming to the table with that maybe are not so pretty, but they're not impossible. You just say it like that. With the Queen of Cups on top of the Knight of Cups, this may be what I want to say, an irregular relationship in so much as one of the other of you may be either considerably older or younger. So this might be a 50-year-old female with a 40-year-old male. I'm just kind of throwing it out there. Either way, it doesn't matter. As you start working through the emotional parts of the relationship, all that little sexy shit y'all are doing back up here, yeah. Gonna kick you in, triple time. Again, keep some balance. Try to do your best. Continue to follow your intuition and stay grounded. The fourth week, Temperance, the back end of the Temperance on top of the Four of Wands. Yeah, you once you get back into balance, all the rest of this shit is gonna fall right into place. And so getting back into balance is now both of you incorporating each other in each other's lives, if you haven't been, whether it was a brief separation, a long separation, or new. I said new, yeah. Bring the balance back, because you have emotions all over the place. Bring that balance back, and as you begin to do that, things will clear up, and you'll see the path to where you're trying to get to with your Aries Taurus. The Hangman with the back end of the World card. Transition, Once again, waiting. You're going to get there. You're going to get there probably sooner than you think. But if you're overwhelmed with the amount of things that you're talking about or thinking about, it may seem like it's going to take forever. It's not. It's not. And you'll get there. Again, the Hangman talking about a change of circumstances. This is good. This is good. This has some stability to it. I'm just looking at the tree. Got to be a pretty strong ass tree. I'm just saying. I just feel the permanency and the solidness of the relationship. It's not to say it's not coming with its bumps and bruises, but it is definitely a solid relationship. The Star card, talking about your hopes, wishes, and dreams, and being pure of thought. The back of this is about making peace with the past. I believe most of you, for whatever it's worth, will have done that by the time you get to Christmas anyway. But making sure your motivation and your decision making is what you need it to be. So being in alignment, both mentally and spiritually. You'll get some of you are going to get some advice. You're going to get some good advice. Take it. If it fits, if it don't, thank you and keep moving. Others of you may be just dealing with some difficult situations as you move towards your Aries. Again, moving towards your hopes, wishes, and dreams. Dreams coming true. Don't they say that up there? Yes, it does. Dreams coming true right there. That's your challenge. Follow your intuition so you can move forward. There may be some unruly people. Yeah, you mean? Some of you even recently coming out of situations that ex might be trying to figure out how the hell they may have been bluffing you about some bullshit. I don't know. It could be Aries or Taurus, either way. But the last person, it feels like a lot of y'all were just kind of out here, my mama used to say, ding-a-linging around because you weren't really satisfied with whatever you had in the first place. For a lot of you, this feels like whatever you're walking away from hurt your ego more than it hurt you. So this Taurus Aries thing for many of you may be a complete and total surprise, something you weren't expecting at all, whether it's brand new or a reboot. So take it in stride. You got difficulties and shit, talk it out. And I think Taurus and Aries are pretty good as a couple about communicating. Aries can get a little hot-headed and Taurus can get a little stubborn. It seems like the two of you can usually come to some form of agreement. Them people that messed with you before you got to where you are right now, I don't know who I'm talking to. Fuck them if they can't take a joke. That's real talk right there. And again, I'm coming right back to maybe some of you, the little temporary dating situations you may have had going on, and maybe somebody dropped you, and now they're hearing you get ready to move forward with your Aries, and now they mad. Fuck them if they can't take a joke. That's what that is. Watch your money. And the money thing has been kind of going around. If you guys are trying to consolidate, make sure you're getting the last penny out the bank. Don't leave nothing. Check, double check. If you're traveling, watch your wallet, watch your purse, watch your kids, your laptop. People are hot and thirsty out here, so they're snatching up anything they can get their hands on. Thieves all over the place, so be mindful of that. I'm going over 30 minutes. It's too bad. I'm sorry, but this is important. I don't know. More messages. All right, protecting treasure. Listening. Magical map shift. Yeah, y'all in the thick of it. Protect how you're feeling about your Aries. I'm going right back to what I said earlier. Somebody saying, why don't you just settle down? Why are you going with that person? Protect your feelings for this person. Protect the treasure that the relationship is. There may be people coming at you with all kind of crazy shit. This is a good relationship, and it feels like for some of the bulls, this is actually necessary. You need this relationship to help you grow. So protect the treasure of the relationship. Listening. Listen. Less talking, more listening. Going back to this card. Wallets, money, purses, laptops, earbuds, iPods, cell phones, keys. Okay. The magical map shifter. This is really about you and Aries, Taurus. Y'all have y'all can create this game from scratch if you want to, and play it your way. You are wide open for that. So do not be afraid of changing the demographic of your relationship. And I don't just mean moving from one place to the other, but thinking that broader view. Y'all got this. I love you so much. I hope y'all have a good weekend. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.